Hi, I'm Dr. Mona Gohara, a dermatologist in New Haven, Connecticut, and I'm here to answer your most pressing skincare questions. So send them my way. Your friends are definitely onto something. Retinol is the most studied skincare ingredient that exists, and it's recommended by dermatologists pretty much every single day of the week. No matter your age, your skin type, or the concern you're facing, there's a pretty good chance that it can be helpful in some sort of way when it's incorporated into your skincare routine. Retinoids are vitamin A derivatives that have a reputation for doing some amazing things for our skin, including speeding up cell turnover to help with acne, stimulating collagen production, and evening out skin tone. If you asked 100 dermatologists what is the one thing that they all agreed on besides sunscreen, of course, it would be that everyone should be using a retinol if their skin could handle it. I recommend retinol to my patients who are 15 or 55. There are plenty different forms of this stuff, ranging from milder over-the-counter options such as retinaldehyde, retinol esters, and retinol, all the way up to prescription-strength tretinoin, adapalene, tazarotene, and ready for this one, trifarotene. So you're not wrong to be confused because there's a lot to know about which one is really right for your skin. Let's start here. The active form of vitamin A is retinoic acid, which also goes by tretinoin. Most retinoids that are prescribed by dermatologists are different forms of tretinoin. Outside of the dermatologist's office, plenty of skincare products now label themselves as retinol products, but this usually means that they have one of the three ingredients in them. The first are retinol esters, which are the most stable form of vitamin A, but also the weakest. When they're applied to the skin, they have to go through two forms of conversion to become retinoic acid, or that active ingredient we just talked about. Retinol similarly has to be converted within the skin, but only once, while retinaldehyde is directly converted to retinoic acid within the skin. Outside of the dermatologist's office, you can still get a retinol product, but they have to go through a conversion process in the skin to become the active ingredient, so they're not quite as strong. By and large, the more active an ingredient is, the more results you'll see by incorporating it into your regimen. In the case of retinoids, not everyone can handle the most active forms of vitamin A, because while they do a whole host of great things for the skin, they can also result in dryness and sensitivity. Talk to your derm to see which kind of retinoid is right for you so that you can get the best results possible for your skin type. Look at you, beauty geek. Yes, there definitely are. People who have rosacea actually can still use retinol. I just recommend the retinaldehyde version, and there's a great brand called Aven that has a wonderful retinaldehyde, great for patients with rosacea. If your skin is too sensitive and you really feel like a little bit shy of using a retinol, there's a new plant-based derivative, which I'm sure you've heard tons about, called bakuchiol, and it's derived from a beautiful purple plant in India. And there's been studies that show that bakuchiol can produce just as much collagen as retinol. So I think it's a good alternative to consider if your skin seems a little bit too sensitive. The texture of the retinol that you're using counts a lot. If your skin is oily, go for a gel-based retinol. If you tend to need more moisture or be more sensitive, opt for a cream or lotion, which can help offset some of the effects of retinoids. Vitamin A can make you more sensitive to the sun. So while we've already talked about how you need to wear sunscreen all the time, every day, never an exception, that goes double if you're introducing a retinol into your regimen. If you wax your eyebrows or wax your upper lip or wax your face, you should discontinue your retinol a good week before because it can literally rip off your skin because your skin is exfoliating and it's doing exactly what it should be doing. It's increasing skin cell turnover, but you don't need that disaster like the day before an important event. If you start peeling or feel a little too sensitive, don't write off retinol just yet. There's an adjustment period wherein the skin needs to get used to the new love you're showing it. Instead, scale back your use to a couple times a week. I always tell my patients to start with just a pea-size amount, like a green pea that you would eat for dinner. Put it on the tip of your finger and divide it equally amongst the 4 quadrants of your face. So it's a quarter of a pea all over your face, not 4 peas. That's a huge, big error. just a quarter of a pea, and then work up gradually. The key is to work up gradually, so you just do it 1 time a week for 1 week, then 2 times a week for 2 weeks, then 3 times a week for 3 weeks. And you'll see where your tipping point is, because if you're using too much or too frequently, your skin can become dry and irritated and flaky, and that's called retinol dermatitis, and that means it's a little bit too much. I would not apply it during the day, and yes, the sun sensitivity is an issue, but the reason is that actually ultraviolet rays make it unstable and less effective. So it's just not even as effective if you apply it during the day. So that's why I always reserve it for my nighttime routine. So this is how I remember it. Retinol R right before bed. I know that's cheesy, but what are you gonna do? You have to remember it somehow. So I tell my patients, here's the triumvirate of how to use your retinol. Wash with a gentle cleanser that's not exfoliating, just a gentle non-soap cleanser. Part 2, apply the pea-size amount of your retinol over your entire face. Part 3, moisturize. So it's wash, medicate, moisturize. And then the other question I get asked a lot is, when do you know it's working, or how long will it take to see its effects? And the general rule is about 4 to 6 weeks, where we can see microscopically that there's collagen production, more collagen production, and less collagen breakdown in about 4 to 6 weeks. But one important consideration, if you're pregnant or nursing, be aware you should not be using retinol in your routine. And that's hard because during pregnancy there's a lot of changes in our skin and we want to make ourselves look and feel great, but it is certainly contraindicated in pregnancy. Do not use retinols and alpha hydroxy acids in the same sitting. I would in fact say that you should separate them a couple days apart. So make sure that you separate it from that. I also think it's important to separate retinols from your vitamin C. So we had a great episode on vitamin C earlier, which you should tune in and check that out. I recommend to my patients using vitamin C in the morning and their retinol at night, because vitamin C and retinol don't play too well in the sandbox together, so you should separate those as well. Some of you may have heard this 15-minute rule, where you're supposed to wait 15 minutes after washing your face and before applying your retinol. If you have that time, by all means, go for it. I personally, I'm a busy working mom. I don't have that time, and I apply it right away. So I think as long as you apply the right amount over the right time interval, you're getting the most bang for your buck and you're doing a great job. This is the one I use. It's a brand called PCA, and you just unscrew the top and you literally, that's how much I use over my entire face. It's just a small bit and just divide it up amongst the quadrants of my face. Oh, a little tip I just remembered. I also like to use retinol on the back of my hands because I live in suburbia and I drive a lot. And so I get a lot of sun damage on the back of my hands, so using the retinol on the back of my hands and my neck actually, which is considered the same cosmetic unit as your face. So I slather it on both my hands and my neck as well. And then I think also Skin Medica, always going back to Skin Medica, it's great, it's cosmetically elegant, and a wonderful choice for somebody who's starting off and first introducing retinols into their skincare routine. The most effective over-the-counter vitamin A derivative, I would say, is adapalene, or the name brand is different, and you can literally go to any drugstore, CVS, Walgreens, Duane Reade, and get different. I've said it once, I'll say it again, if my house was on fire, I would grab my husband, my kids, my dog, and my retinol before I ran out of the house, because it is definitely the best skincare ingredient and has the most science behind it. Thanks so much for watching Dear Derm. Got more questions? Comment below. And be sure to subscribe to Well+Good right now.